So what are the aggregate operations we are going to have? When you say aggregate operation, generally we have, when I say aggregate operations, we have count, sum, max, min, average. We are going to have, when I say aggregate operation, we have a count, sum, min, max, average. These are the aggregate operations. In case if you want to use these aggregate operations along with the SQL queries, in case if you want to use this aggregate operation along with the SQL queries, then we are going to get a result as aggregate result. Generally, when you write a SQL query, what is the value we are going to get? List of. When you write a SQL query, what is the value we are going to get? List of S object. When you write a SQL query, result is going to be list of S object. Am I right? I'm going to give select fields from select fields from S object. It is going to give you list of S object. If I use aggregate functions in the SQL query, if I use any one of these aggregate functions in the SQL query, we are going to get an aggregate result. What we are going to get? Aggregate result. If you are going to use aggregate functions from this object. If you are using any aggregate function, what is the result we are going to get? Aggregate result. We are going to get aggregate result. If you read a SQL query, list of S objects we are going to get. Generally, when you read a SQL query, we are going to get a list of S object. If you read a SQL query, we are going to get list of S object. If you use SQL query with aggregate function, we are going to get aggregate result. Okay. We'll start with the first one. What is the first one we have? Count. Let us see this. I'm using the first one. Count. What is the purpose of the count? What is the purpose of the count? Count will give you select count from. When I say select count from account, it is going to give you an integer value which specifies how many records are written by the SQL query. It gives the count of number of records written by the SQL query. Count will give you, it will give you integer value which specifies count of number of records written by the SQL query. It gives you count of number of records written by the SQL query. So it is going to be in this format. When is a count, integer, count equal to select count integer, count equal to select count from where industry equal to. So when you write a SQL query, the list, okay, when you write a SQL query, how many records are written by this SQL query? That is given by count. So when I write a SQL query with the count, what is the value we received? Is equal to 5. So I am giving where industry equal to. When you say where industry equal energy, we are getting the count equal to 3. So count of number of records written by the SQL query. Count of number of records written by the SQL query. Now we also have count of field. The first one is count. The second one is count of field. When you say count of field, it is going to return you how many records contain this field value as not blank. When you write a query, we got the list of records. In those records, how many records have this field value entered? When you write a SQL query, you got a list of record. When you write a SQL query, we got a list of record. So in that list of record, how many records contain this value entered? In how many records this value is entered? In how many records this value is entered? So let me give you select count of ownership from account. Generally, how many records are there? 15 records. When I give, how many records we got? 11. There are only 11 records in which ownership field value is entered. There are only 11 records in which ownership field is entered. Now I give select count of type from account. There are 14 records. Out of 15 records, in 14 records, the value of type is entered. Now we have rating. Out of 15 records, there are only 7 records in which rating value is entered. The remaining records are blank. Are you getting my point? So count of number of records in which the value of this field is entered. So that is count of field. Then we have sum. When you say sum, summary of the given field. Summary of the given field. Sum of field. Summary of the given field. So what I am saying, select sum of amount from select sum of amount. So there is no field called amount. You have annual revenue. Select the sum of annual revenue. It is going to give you summarized value of annual revenue from all the records. Where industry equal to energy. Summary value of those account records whose industry equal to energy. Sum of the given value. Sum of the given value. Similarly, we have min of annual revenue. Max of then we have average of so we got here grand summary, minimum value, maximum value, average value. Because probably there is only one value, I guess. Okay, no issue. Let me give it this way. Select sum of amount, average of amount, min of amount, max of amount from then we give execute. We got here sum of the amount, average of the amount, min of the amount, max of the amount. So what we are doing within the SQL query, we are writing aggregate result. So finally, how many results we got? One result. Finally, how many results we got? One result. In that result, sum. In the result, min. In the result, max. So why? You are taking, when you write a SQL query, all the records what we fixed, in all those records, what is the sum value? In all those records, what is the minimum value? In all those records, what is the max value? SQL query with aggregate functions will give you result in the form of what? Aggregate result. So let me give you. So where I am going to use this aggregate result? When you want to make a reportings, when you want to make a reporting functionality using Apex, this will be helpful to you. So let me give you. So go to the debug console. I'm giving aggregate result equal to select sum of. Now when you say sum of amount, how do you refer to that? There should be some name, then only you can refer. So what I'm doing, alias name I'm giving. Total, max of amount, and give alias name. So that that value is referred with the name called max. Min of amount, average of. Average of amount. Then what we have? We are going to take one by one result. So the values are going to be in the form of object. The values are going to be in the form of object. So what should I do? Convert the object into record format. You want to refer to the total. So decimal, total equal to, what is the value? Result dot Get off. What is the alias name I give? Alias name I give as total. But what is the value it is going to give you? Object. Object means neutral format. If you know it's a string, you will take string. Integer, you will take integer. If you are not sure, you will take object. So the data is coming in the form of object, which I need to convert back into. This is called as what? Typecasting. This is called as what? Typecasting. Convert the object in the form of decimal and store it. Yo, max. We got the result. How you want to print? System dot debug. I want to print the value. System dot debug. Total. We're just printing the value. Debug. Max. So we have given. We are just trying to print the value. I wrote a SQL query with aggregate functions. Whatever the result I got, I converted them into corresponding format and I was trying to print the result. Execute. When execute, so what is the value we got here? Total value, max, min, average. I hope you are clear with this. SQL query with the aggregate function. Whenever we are going to use a group by class, it is going to give you. Whenever you are trying to use SQL query with aggregate functions combined with a group by. So the records are grouped based on the given field. When you group them based on a given field, every group will have sum, every group will have min, every group will have maximum. So look at the format. Select stage name, sum, average, minimum, max from opportunity group by stage. When you say group by stage name, what happened was how many results we got? 9 results. Prospecting stage, sum value, average value, min, max. Qualification stage, sum, min, max. So when you group, every group is going to have separate set of aggregate function values. So are you getting aggregate result or list of aggregate result? Every group has one aggregate result. So it is a list of aggregate result. It is a list of aggregate result. Now the query is, whenever you are trying to use a group by class, we can only query the fields which are used in the aggregate functions, or the fields which are used in the group by class. When you are writing a query, we can only query the fields which are a part of aggregate functions or group by class. Let us say I am using close date. Did I use the close date in any one of the aggregate functions? No. Did I use the close date in group by class? No. When you run it, it throws error message. Field must be grouped or aggregated. So close date is not a part of group by or is not a part of aggregate. So it is giving you error message. Are you clear about this? Any field you are trying to query, should be either a part of aggregate function or aggregate result. So let me show you this. Now, if you are trying to use group by class, group by name, then we are going to get a list of aggregate result. List of aggregate result. Then I am also querying when you're writing a group by class, we are going to get a list of aggregate result because for every group we have aggregate result. So I want to take one by one value. How do you take it? It is a list of aggregate. So what we do? Aggregate result equal to. Take one by one aggregate result. Take one by one aggregate result. Try to print. Same program. Whatever the logic I wrote, the same logic we are writing here. The only thing is, we got list. We are taking one by one value from the list. Then you are printing it. Now stage name is going to be which format? String. So we need to convert in the form of string result dot. Now let us print the data. So we got list of aggregate results. Run it. Let us run this. See the output. What happened? Stage name prospecting. We got a group of values. Stage name qualification, group of values. So it is a list of aggregate result. So the thumb rule here is, what is the thumb rule? If you are using, if you are writing, if you are using group by class in the SQL query, SQL query with aggregate function, aggregate function, then it will return list of aggregate. Next one. If you are using group by class, we can only query the fields which are part of aggregate function, or if you are using group by class, we can only query fields which are a part of aggregate function or group by class.